It's pathetic how I could be helping someone, but when I need help in return, they never reciprocate. This has been going on all my life, and I'm pretty sure many other people have experienced the same thing. I don't know why people have to be this way. This is why I lost hope in the world, and I lost also hope in having solid friends, because people don't realize that just because you talk to a certain someone or a group of people a lot doesn't necessarily mean they're your friends. For example, if you're at a bus stop and you see the same person frequently and you talk to them frequently every time, but you don't talk to them after that, once that schedule is gone, then they're not really your friend. They're just someone who had something in common, and that something in common was the fact that you guys had the same bus schedule. But once that schedule changes, then you really have nothing in common anymore. They're not really he's not they're not really your friend. You just had something in common at that point in time. They're only your friends if they check up on you out of their own free will. But I just hate being selfless, but nobody shows the same energy. When I turned to self-improvement not too long ago, I've obviously I've benefited from it. I've benefited from it a lot, but I'm still facing a lot of the same problems. The only thing that it helped me with was the fact that I'm able to deal with them easier, because it's easier to deal with anything if you're in shape and if you're physically healthy. It just softens the blow. But it doesn't mean the problems are still there. I'm just able to tolerate it better. But after losing my only friend, I don't know, guys. I just lost all hope. I have really no hope of making any solid friends anymore. Especially the people near me. I mean, in my specific city, everyone already knows each other, and if they didn't know you before, then they're pretty much a stranger. I just wish the US were more like people from Asia, because in my previous video I told you that I visited Asia for a month recently, multiple countries in Asia, and people there tend to be way nicer and more polite than here in the US. Everywhere here in the US, it just feels like everyone's out to get you. Everyone thinks that you're trying to push some kind of agenda, or they think you're a creep. I hate that. I hate the vibe. Whereas in Asia, most people there, they treat you with respect no matter who you are or where you came from. It's just different, guys. But even if I'm talking to them in my native language, it just doesn't hit the same versus when I'm talking to people in English. I just wish that the people here could be like the people from Asia, because for another reason, since I just want to talk to them in English, because there's just different interpretations when you're talking in another language, which I can't really quite translate them well into English from that language. So it would be cool if the majority of the people were like that, so I could interact with them in English. But too bad, that's not how it is. All this, I wish that. It would be good if it came true, but it's not true. So many fake people everywhere. For example, yesterday when I made sure a mutual friend got home safe by giving him a ride when he was drunk, Obviously, he was very thankful about it, or so it seemed, but when I needed help, when I needed help having a ride somewhere because I let someone borrow my car, what did he do? He did not do anything. He didn't even give me a ride, and he was free too. It was his off day, and he wasn't doing anything. But he just decided to not give me a ride. He threw every excuse at me as to why he couldn't give me a ride to a certain place. And it was minor too, and he wasn't even busy. I didn't need to give him that ride when he was drunk. I could have just said, "Oh man, take an Uber or have any of your friends take you." But he specifically wanted me because he knows that I'm squared away. He knows that I'm rational. But screw people, man. I mean, you can't trust anyone nowadays. The only person who's gonna take care of yourself is yourself. And your family, if you're closer to your family like that. But I hate the fact that every time I try to get close to someone, they just make me regret it. It doesn't matter whether it's male or female. I could not care less about any of that. It's just, I'm tired of getting close to people. I do something for them, but then they never help me in return. Now, don't get the wrong idea. Just because I help you doesn't mean you have to do something for me. It's just out of respect. Like, if I actually need something, then it would be nice for you to help me. Not because I helped you before, but only because it's the right thing to do. Like, every time I do a good deed for someone, I don't do it with the intention of wanting something back. Otherwise, is that really a thing that you were genuine about if you're doing something and you're expecting something back? No. When I treat people kindly, I'm doing it out of the kindness of my own heart. But I just hate when people take advantage of my kindness. I find comfort in talking to older people, most older people, because they know. At least the older people who are not so caught up in their generation by saying, "Oh yeah, my generation was way better than yours," and vice versa. I'm talking about the old people who say that you just give me advice. They just tell me that it's a different time, and basically what they're telling me, what I've been saying in these videos, just focus on yourself because there's really no one out there to help you but you. I mean, it's not like back then where everyone was a little bit more respectful to each other, and when it came to relationships, it was definitely better than now. Not to say it was all sunshine and roses back then, but generally it was better. But now it's just everything's so divided now. People like to blame social media. Oh, social media corrupts you here, social media corrupts you there, but it's the people behind it. But I'm going off on a different tangent because there's really no structure in these videos. I'm just ranting whatever's on my mind, but man, the world sucks. It's only going to continue to suck. Like, yeah, I get that it's not as bad in comparison to centuries ago, but it still sucks nonetheless. Anyways, guys, continue to take care of yourself. And if you're not taking care of yourself, please do yourself a favor and do it. If you're too depressed to do anything, at least take a shower. You will feel at least a little bit better. You're cleaner, it'll help you deal with anything. It'll help you. What am I saying? So many things going through my head right now, but if you're clean on the outside, it'll make you feel a little bit better. Whatever you do, you know you're clean. Like, you have to try to do things to help yourself. If you feel better physically, that will help a little bit mentally, even though it may be minuscule. People don't realize how bad depression is. It's not like some kind of emotion. It's an actual disease. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good day, good night, or whatever.